Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Back again. Born and Red took a week out. We were supposed to do some shows yesterday, actually, but we got held up. But welcome, guys, back to Born and Red. Please like and subscribe if you haven't. We are now over 10K. Our next stop is 15, 20, and let's see what happens after that. Playback as well. I don't know, and I don't have anything to do with it. Asim is sorting that kind of spectrum stuff out of playback. We have had no shows yet go live, but Asim will reveal when the debut show on that is as well. Playback, I think it's a platform where you guys can stream, anyone can join in and whatnot.
We're assessing things. We're assessing things.
Yeah, you're going to be assessing all summer, pending medicals and everything. Gene, your partner on Fridays, how are you today? Great to see you on a Saturday night.
She's looking fresh, are
He's
we?
looking fresh every week. He's a little low.
Nice shy.
I show
Bloody
you.
hell.
It's a shame about the top half of the hair, but on the side, he's looking great.
I don't need no transplants, but you're gonna hide it with fake hair, man. This I don't have to do that. Mine's original business.
Gene, you're looking sharp, yeah. You're looking sharp.
He's even faded his beard.
Man, look, I'm going for the short, the fade and stuff, man.
He's looking sharp, mate. He looks 40. He's cut off a few years off his age now. He looks 40 now. He looks great for his age right now.
This I don't have to lie about my age.
Whenever he gets this sort of coat and his beard looking very, very black, that means the trip to Turkey is on the horizon.
It's on the horizon.
Where are you going?
Oh, he's come back from Turkey. Oh, he's had his little pedicure and manicure from Turkey. He's on his way back.
He's going. I know this guy too well.
Monday.
Tell me when he's going.
Monday.
There you go. Are you seriously going Monday?
Monday? I told you.
You might as well get Turkish citizenship now. You might just be starting. You might as well start your own Galatasaray sports channel now via Born and Red, because you're not a Liverpool fan anymore. You're spending more time in Turkey than you are back home. Just a few comments in the chat. Go, bro. Maybe not gonna watch this, but Avi, you're not an ITK little bro. Oh, thank you very much for that. Sakib saying to the contrary, Asim is the ITK. Great stuff. Great stuff.
Me on Twitter.
Hamza Ajaz late again. Blame Gene today. That was not on me. Iggy Acha. You'd think Slot's already got an idea of type of profile of player he wants, especially seeing the videos, watching previous games. We are going to get into that. Rayan Kawaja, my friend from X. Kawaja?
Yes, that's better.
Kawaja, there you go. Inacio isn't even Sporting's best defender. Oh, interesting. I think, Asim, you're a big fan of Diamande. Good evening, gentlemen. Hope you are all well. Big up, folks. Asim moving like FSG, Assessment FC. Yeah, he truly is.
That was the reference, Sean. That was the reference.
Hassan Hussein, playback. Oof, I'm an expert as well. There you go, Asim. If you want someone to join you on playback.
That's my nephew. That's Hassan, the Arsenal fan.
Mohammed Kibriya is back in the building. Yes, the lads, as Avi would say, Sean.
Yes, Mohammed.
Going into it, Asim, this week. We'll start off with Lenny Euro, because there's been absolute uproar, Asim, especially in the Liverpool fan base. Why didn't we go in for him? You know, he's a generational talent, which that word now you only use on special footballers, but it seems as if that word now generational, it's being used on every youngster that's coming through football now. It's getting absolutely cringy. But Asim, what do you make of this Lenny Euro? From my aspect, from what I think we definitely did inquire about the young lad. He is very talented. But at 18 years old, with the figures that are being sort of, bandied about, I don't think it was for us. But what's your thoughts? Do you think we've missed a trick? And it is definitely a position that we do need to address. But give me your thoughts on Lenny Euro.
I think it's only fair if Gene goes. Gene's nodding in disgust. I think he should go. Gene?
Look, it's not even about going. I think we had a space a couple of nights ago, and I think I vented my sort of frustration on the Euro sort of transfer. In terms of Euro, look, we all, we liked him. We wanted him. He was an opportunistic sort of deal that Liverpool were looking for. It was a deal that, we said if something came up that was something out of the blue, and an opportunity that we felt, we can't miss out on, then we take it. And then, you hear the reports from Ornstein and Joyce about him and how we really want him. But the issue that we're having was because Real Madrid are in for him, that he wants to go to Real, and fair play to the lad. If he wants to go there, I have no issues with that. I think the biggest issue with Liverpool was, with most Liverpool fans, is, okay, you pulled out because of reasons given, which are fair reasons, no issues with. But when a club like Man United is sat in 8th, yes, they've got the money. Yes, they come and take Euro off our hands, so off Real's hands, and buy this generational sort of talent that he's been touted around.
But isn't he just like he's gonna play there probably about 2 or 3 years before he goes to Real Madrid? The eventuality is Gene, he's gonna go to Real Madrid whether we like it or not.
So what?
So I'm not. We've stopped being that stepping stone. We've stopped being that stepping stone under Klopp. We've stopped being that stepping stone.
Man, plays at Liverpool. If Yanni Lotto gave us, I'll give you an example. Yanni Lotto 18.
I don't get what Avi's saying here. So
I'm saying that the player flirted so much with Real Madrid. His dream move was Real Madrid.
Right.
We got whiff of that. Paul George did. David Ornstein did. When the initial tweet went out. I think we've definitely made inquiries. But with the numbers involved, we were like, no. I think Real Madrid have walked away from that too. Because 52 million, 60 million, no.
1 second.
We're not going to do that deal. Man United have come in. Opportunity, yes. They've come in for him and they've spent the big bucks. Now, this could go either way, Asim. There's no guarantee he makes a success of himself at Man United. We've seen it with Varane. We've seen it with still question marks over Lucho Martinez. Question marks. Maguire has been an absolute flop. There's no guarantee that Lenny Euro steps into that United team and he'll take the Premiership like that.
There's no guarantee with any sort of
I know, player. But he's played 1 season. We're not a club that takes the risk after 1 season and spends 52, 60 million. We don't do that, Asim.
Yeah, right. Look. If there's some players that come into,
he will get, if his trajectory is the only way up. 3 years at 21, he's playing at Real Madrid. Yadrakil.
Okay, once again,
he'll go for 120 million.
Asim, here's my issue.
Why are you worried about the money? I want players that want to stay at the club.
Okay,
I'm not worried about the money or the sell-on fee.
You think if Liverpool bought Jude Bellingham in 3-4 years' time, if his trajectory was just like it was going now, if he had these seasons like he's had this season? By the way, I've got a message from my nephew saying they can't hear me properly. Can you guys hear me?
I thought you said you got a message from Jude Bellingham saying that he wants to.
Not quite.
No, you're fine.
I'm okay. So if Jude Bellingham, was absolutely brilliant for 2-3 years, he'd be getting linked to Barcelona and Real Madrid. So shouldn't we be buying these sort of talents because there's a chance of them going to Real Madrid? This is the actual model Liverpool are going for. Buy a player for 30-40 million pound. Gene, you're mute.
Gene, you're on mute.
This is my issue, Asim, with Man United, with Liverpool, sorry. And this is what I was going to say. I have no problem with Liverpool having a strategy that, we can't go and spend 120 million pound every single player. That's a ready-made player. We're told fair play. You know what? We go for a player that we feel as though is on the sort of up. We see a crazy trajectory. The data makes sense. Fine. But when a player we see that we're told we want him, we see as a generational talent, and then we're still.
He's played 1 season. How many? Did us three?
No.
Let's be calm about this. Let's be calm about this. The three of us. How many times us three? We watch a lot of you. I usually say I watch a lot of European football. How many times realistically have we seen Lenny Euro this season?
Okay,
I've only seen clips of certain performances he's had on Twitter. I've seen nothing like a full 90 minutes of Lenny Euro.
I don't care about what you say.
We're not going to spend that much money as Gene.
Let me speak.
Anyone can see.
I don't care what you say. I don't care what Asim says. If Liverpool are saying that this guy we feel is a generational sort of talent, which we're told from Ornstein and Joyce that, this is a proper, we really want this kid, but the only reason we're not in for him is because of United. We see there's a look. If
it wasn't because of United, we had a price set for him. We're not going to go above that price. We're not going to pay 52 million for an 18-year-old with a handful of games in the League One.
Go for the big boys,
and that's not a great barometer. The French league is not a great barometer of making a purchase of a defender.
That's all it is. You're always up their ass, and I can't ever take you out of it because that's just the way it is. That's the simple truth. You complain when the teams are spending. They say, "Oh, there's too much money." When it's 42 million pounds fee, that's because it's starting at 42 million pounds. We still, it's not enough. Then you've got the likes of Calafiori, who's at the perfect age, the perfect sort of player we need.
I know the reason we didn't go for Calafiori. I know the reason we didn't go for Calafiori.
That's the problem with you. Yeah, the right age, the right profile fits what we want, exactly what we need. We're still not bidding for him. So where do you want to stand? We can't go for the big boys. Granted, you can't go for the kid for the.
We didn't know who Lenny Euro was probably about 10 months ago, guys.
We don't know him.
I mean,
What my issue is,
Real
Liverpool
Madrid.
wanted him.
Real Madrid watched Euro 14 times this season. Last season, sorry. 14 times.
So then why didn't they pull the trigger then? If they really wanted him, why didn't they pull the trigger?
Because they thought that the player wants Real Madrid so much
That he'll sit a year.
They were playing a hard bargain. And
Or they
threw the
his
money
contract's out next summer as well. He was out of contract next
it was
summer.
12 months left. So they were bidding around about 20-30 million pounds. Liverpool, I'm told, were prepared to go around 40 million euros. But look, there is no shying away from the fact that United haven't thrown or even overpaid for this player. An 18-year-old kid, it could go up to around about 70 million pounds. There's no denying that. But Liverpool are supposed to be in a position this year.
70 million quid is well worth the money, mate.
But I'm saying
70 million quid. Believe you me, it's well
with
worth
add-ons. With add-ons, it could go that high.
Yeah.
But I don't know if this is right, but Hamza Adar says Euro is getting 180 a week, and his dad and agent will pocket 15 million each. I'm not sure if that's completely right.
I think it's around about 130 to 150 max.
Well,
United have overpaid, Avi. United have overpaid. But we have to understand Liverpool are in a position.
That's their model, though. They've always done that. Even with Ineos in.
No, I'm talking about our model. But look, I have to
cover
that everything.
I'm just giving you examples where we've not done anything. Okay, I'm not saying, look, with me, Avi, with the Euro deal, I really wanted the kids because I believe that the ceiling is so high that, this guy, I genuinely believe, I think he's going to be a game changer for Man United. I believe that. I genuinely believe this kid has got the armory.
I don't think he's going to start. He wouldn't have started for us either. He would have been our fourth choice, fifth choice, arguably fourth. He would have been behind Konate, behind Van Dijk, behind Kwanzaa at the moment.
He's 18 years old. Kwanzaa became within 6 months became a starter. Lenny Yoro has the ceiling.
Centre backs are not intelligent enough at 18 in the Premier League. Gene, this ain't the French league. This ain't China. This ain't India league, man. You're talking about the Premier League. 18 years old. You're gonna thrust him in.
I'm not saying bring him in and throw him straight. We didn't even do that with Konate. Obviously when
if United do that, it could be curtains for his career very early on if they're going to thrust him in straight alongside whoever they want to play, Martinez, whoever.
Alessandro Martinez, which I'll be honest, they look. I look. Today was just a pre-season game. I saw clips of Euro today online, of how he played today. He looked a player.
It was Rangers. It was Rangers. Like, come on, guys.
I'm just saying from the clip. I'm not saying. I'm just saying it was.
Gene, it was the second preseason.
I'm just saying that he looked decent. Can I not say he looked decent? So I just you know what? Shit. A yapper. Does that make you feel better?
And coming back to Calafiori, this is one of the reasons. He's had a shattered knee. Very similar. It was the same injury as Ox when he was 17. I just don't think we were going to take that risk again. But he's a great talent. Asim's done a great thread actually on Calafiori, guys. If you haven't read it, go make sure you read it. It is a great. Informative of the positions that he can play and shapes and whatnot. Pay the toll, 62 million for an 18-year-old on 115 a week, and United warming him up so he can go to Real Madrid in a few seasons. That's what I'm alluding to. You're on mute, Gene. You're on mute.
One thing I don't understand is United bought a player for 42 million pounds. I don't know. That's what the starting figure is, yeah? At 52 million euros. They buy a player for you, an 18-year-old who there's a high ceiling. And they hold the cards. They've just signed him.
They bought Sancho for 60, 70.
5+1 contract. But look, they made mistakes. Everybody knows Manchester United made a lot of mistakes in the past. Granted, but when they do something right, don't say, "Oh, Sancho's this is the same thing." Can it go that way? Yes, it can. But when they do the right business, you got to give them a bit of credit. They're going about it the right sort of way. Ineos have come in. You can sort of see they're not paying 100 million, 80, 90 million on the crazy players. They're looking for calculated players. And I understand their sort of model. When it comes to Liverpool right now, Avi, look.
Whose model do you understand?
Right now it's Liverpool model. I don't get it.
You don't get the model?
Yeah.
That's because they haven't spent any money. They haven't brought anyone in yet.
Gene, with me, where I sit with this, and I'm not trying to be, sit on the fences. I understand if Euro wants first team football and he wanted first team assurances, then I can understand Liverpool haven't got the deal over the line. At the end of the day, we can't guarantee him first team options. With the likes of Maguire going and Varane going, he's got better chances at getting first team football, and he will do. You can't be spending that sort of money and not, even though people are saying, some reports are saying they're still interested in Delay and the likes of Brathwaite. he is their sort of what do you call it? What's the call it? Marquee signing in that area this summer. They have gone big on him because they think this guy is going to be a generational talent. And it's not just their scouting department have got that opinion. The whole of Europe has got that opinion. But my problem is with top Reds, whatever you want, if I can label them like that, if I use that old term, is because if Liverpool are not bidding for a player, that doesn't mean Liverpool have not lost out. You don't need to put a bid in for a player not to lose out. If you're leaking the news to David Ornstein and Paul Joyce, that means you are genuinely interested. We were led to believe that Liverpool are in a position to get this deal over the line because they think this player is going to go to Real Madrid. And if he doesn't, then we're in the best position. Now, don't tell me that Liverpool haven't lost out to United just because we haven't put a bid in. I've not heard any more bollocks than that. Because, look, you have to call a spade a spade. We lost out on Euro because we didn't put the money on the table. This is a question about putting the money on the table and convincing. What does convincing a player mean? Convincing the player means is how much you're going to convince him. How much are you prepared to put on the table? This structure of we didn't put the money on the table because we didn't want to go against our structure. Where do you draw the line? Where do you draw the line? I can get the fact that you didn't want him to go, you don't want to go big on him because we can't, give him the guarantees of first team football. But the fact that you can't say, Liverpool didn't lose out to Man United, I just don't get that. You don't have to put a bid in to lose out.
Asim, I honestly believe there was a figure between 30 to 40 million at max that we would go in for Euro. All right, people could say, well, it was 52 in the end, whatnot. I think there was a figure in plan for if Euro to Madrid doesn't work out, we'll be there right next to them after whatever if they couldn't get a deal done.
United.
I think once United came in and sort of eclipsed everyone, I think that it was curtains. I honestly believe there was a figure. I don't think there was a bid, and I don't think it's the same as saying we've lost out to United. I don't feel that we've lost out to United.
Why?
You're not telling me that Euro is the be all or end all of centre backs this season in this summer.
I'm not saying there's not alternative targets, Avi.
And we know how alternatives have worked out in Liverpool in the past.
You can't say we haven't lost out to United.
Okay, say that we've lost out, but the outcry, the uproar amongst Liverpool fans, what's the need for it?
Avi, it's a bad look on Liverpool. It was a bad look. The moment you're leaking news to Ornstein,
we wanted Sancho. For more than a year, we were tracking. We spoke to his representatives. We spoke to his uncles.
Okay, Avi, you tell me.
We lost out to United for him.
Avi,
come on, guys.
What do you define as when a Liverpool lose out to a player?
I think when you're going punch for punch. I think like to Tchouaméni, we missed out on. Well,
we were prepared to go to 40 million.
Tchouaméni, we lost out to Real Madrid. That's losing out to Real Madrid. Tchouaméni.
Did we put a bid in for Tchouaméni?
Yeah,
it was a pretty much a foregone conclusion that we thought we were in the driving seat.
We thought we had him.
Did we put an official bid in though?
Klopp pretty much summed it up after the Paris final that during that pre-season after the final in Paris, he said that we lost out to Real Madrid for Tchouaméni. In not so many clear words, but it was obvious. It was obvious that we wanted Tchouaméni. We were prepared to pay 50, 60 million for Tchouaméni, but the player just wanted Real Madrid.
This is my point, Avi. You don't have to put official bids to lose out on a player.
For me, it's a risk. For me, it's a 50-50 on Euro. For me, we're talking as if he's going to be a major success. It's a huge. For me, it's a huge risk. I just want to come to one comment, guys. A few comments from Rohit Kumarian. Edwards had a 75-game rule as sporting director. I'm not sure if this is true. According to Paul Joyce, Euro has 60 senior appearances in Liga. Probably means the proposal to him didn't include direct first team inclusion. And it could just be that, boys, that Euro wanted first team guarantees. I don't think we could guarantee him that since the rise of Kwanzaa with Konate, with Virgil's at the helm. Sadisha Saha Balmik says, honestly, I don't think a meltdown is warranted for not wanting to buy Lenny Euro, who would be our fourth choice centre back. Having said that, we should prioritise a DM and a left back signing ASAP. Asim?
There are three areas for Liverpool to improve in, and the comment is 100%. The DM and the left back area is an area that we need to really go big in. And I think a few tweets were going around on Twitter saying Liverpool don't need a big surgery. Yeah, I understand, but no fan amongst the Liverpool fan base is saying Liverpool squad needs surgery. I think Liverpool squad in terms of depth, Avi, is one of the best around. But when you look in the big areas like left back area, like the DM area, and probably the wide attacking area, because Salah has lost his legs to to an extent, we don't have that 1v1 quality anymore. And the output from those wide areas, when it comes to the left hand area, you obviously know my opinion on Luis Diaz, and I know yours as well. But if we don't have those specialist, profiles, and this is the reason why we need those specialist profiles. We've got depth, especially on the left-hand side of midfield. We've got Gravenberg, McAllister, Bajetic can play there, Curtis Jones can play there, Szoboszlai can play there. We've got a lot of depth. But have we got those specialist profiles in those 2-3 areas? And this is the reason why Liverpool need to dip into the market. And if we do, then I can see Liverpool being amongst the favourites in the Premier League again. And, Slot actually said it in his presser that we need to go again. We missed out last season because of, we fell off the tail end of the season. But if we really dip into the market and get those 2-3 signings, Avi, we can be amongst the favourites again. At the moment, I think we're third favourites as, things stands currently. And this is the reason why we finished third. But the time is ticking, Avi, and there is a lot of things to do in the space of 4 or 5 weeks. Have Liverpool sort of cornered themselves in a position where, because of the all ins and outs,
I think that's ridiculous what you're saying, that we've cornered ourselves. I think there's plenty of time to get contract talks done with existing players for signings.
You're telling me
we've just had the Euros, we've just had the Copa America. These players are probably on the players that we are linked with.
Liverpool are going to get 2-3 players and sign Salah, Van Dijk, and Trent in the next 4 or 5 weeks.
I don't think Salah will get done. I think Trent and Van Dijk will get one.
And we buy 2-3 players.
Yeah. Asim, look at the way this club has worked previously. Look at the way we've announced signings like Fabinho, Keita, not Van Dijk, but the signings that we've made in previous years. We get these deals done very quickly. The Szoboszlai out of nowhere last season. McAllister got it done.
I'm concerned in the defensive area that I don't believe. Look, Sepp van der Berg, I've not watched him. I have to be respectful. I don't know exactly what the sort of improvements that he made. But what we've been hearing the last week or so, I think that is just PR from Liverpool side, that we're trying to play a hard bargain towards Mainz. He wants to go. Let's be honest, from his comments a few weeks ago, they want to break their transfer record as well. I think they want to pay around about 12-13 million. But I think Liverpool want a bit more than that. So we're trying to drive a hard bargain. Can we? But I think if we don't get that deal, he'll probably stay. And this might be the reason why we don't invest in that time. And I'm just concerned where the sort of feeling amongst the fan base and the sort of comments we're getting from the inside the club is Liverpool are going to allow Slot to assess the squad. Like, look, with all due respect, it doesn't take a rocket science to let you know what Liverpool need in the squad and what type of profiles we need.
Yeah, but Asim, he will need to know personalities. He will need to know the squad
for a long time. He's going to get the job.
Just want to bring up Shab's comment and then we'll come back to this. Saj, I'm surprised you're annoyed that we didn't overpay for someone in his last year, which is why Madrid didn't pull the trigger. United have always overpaid. Avi is right. I can't lie. It's not about me being right, and this certainly isn't me being right or wrong. I would have loved Lenny Euro. I think he is a talent, as everyone is saying. But I also understand the data, the model that we work in. We're not going to overpay for a youngster at 18 who's had a handful of games. We're not that club. I'm sorry, we're not that club. But go on, Gene, you wanted to answer this.
Look, in terms of what Shab's having to, which is why Real Madrid didn't pull the trigger. Real Madrid wanted the player on a free. They actually initially wanted the player to stay. They wanted to, because that's their new sort of model. They want to offer crazy contracts to these big sort of players. But you mentioned them letting their players go into the final year. Real Madrid paid £100 million for Eden Hazard when he had 1 year left on his contract. Liverpool played Arsenal 6 years ago, bear in mind, 6-7 years ago, £40 million for Ox. When he only had one player. £40 million back then is probably worth 60-70 right now, right? In today's market, an English sort of player that we want. So the last year of the contract doesn't really mean much to me. In terms of, look, Asim was speaking about, I'm going on to something else now. Asim mentioned about, Avi, the time business. You can't say to me that there's a lot of time, Avi. There isn't. It might seem like there's time. Liverpool in the past, we always got one player over the line very, very quickly. Granted that there's a new manager coming and all that sort of stuff. I get that, but come on. The writing was on the wall. We know where we went wrong last season. It doesn't take a brain surgeon to work out that this team needs a defensive midfielder. The manager doesn't need to see who's good enough in the squad. with all due respect to the players that we've got right
He
now,
has to assess
needs
the squad,
players
Gene.
like Avi. He can assess the squad as much as he wants. But this club, anybody that watches football, anybody that watches Liverpool, and the players that are in this Liverpool squad right now, if you're starting the season playing a McAllister in the 6, right, when you've actually bought him to play the 8 and the 10, 8 role, and then you buy a 7, and Endo plays there, you know that position needs addressing. I don't care who you are, you know it needs addressing. So with the data guys and how special these guys are, it doesn't take a brain surgeon to work that out. So I don't buy the way they said, you know what, August, and we're gonna start buying players. And okay, I'll give them the time, but don't come up with stuff like there's no players. There's, you know,
Who has said there's no players? Has anyone come out from Liverpool saying that there's no players out there?
Avi, you know when you
number 6, I said once, assess the squad. Who's gonna play there? Bajicic. You are going to give an 18-year-old kid who's played 12 games.
19.
Well, how old he is, right? 12 games for Liverpool, been out for a year, but then you're giving me shit about Yenny Loro, who's only had 1 good season, right? But then you want to play him there. Nobody else is good enough to play that DM role at our football club. That's just the way it is. Nobody is good enough. You need to go and spend in that position. This is my biggest issue with this club. We didn't have to wait to go and buy a player like that. We should have addressed the DM position a lot earlier, regardless of the manager and the, you know, they've been talking to each other every single day. I don't know, man. I just can't see Liverpool getting all the contracts and bringing in 3 quality players.
Avi, I forgot to tell you, you want, Slot and this narrative about Arnie Slot needs to assess the squad. I can understand he needs to get to know the players. He's a
personalities as well, not just on the playing field.
Yeah, I can understand.
Know the personalities.
I can understand, but my worry is, Avi, he probably won't meet quite a few of the big senior players up until 4th, 5th, 6th of August. Someone like McAllister could be coming back.
No, but I think on the seniors, he'll know. Look, I think on the seniors, he will know that. Listen, he's not going to be selling McAllister. There's no decision to be made on like for McAllister or Allison.
Where you play McAllister, he could play him on the right. Let's not forget, Klopp wanted to play him on the right. He even publicly said when McAllister was bought, he was supposed to play on the right. And then how things, injuries and whatnot. He found himself in the DM and / left-sided role in a double pivot. But if you're going to wait for players, and my biggest worry is before September comes around, we're playing 3 games a week. Sorry,
it'll take its toll. It'll take its toll if we don't.
Take its toll, and
we're talking as if we're not going to sign anyone, boys.
No, I think we will sign. I think
no, but him over here thinks we're not doing anything.
I never said that.
Do you think we're going to get a centre back or a left? You think we're going to get a
stupid comment?
Do you think we're bringing in a centre back?
We are going to sign players. Yes. I know who said we're not going to sign players. I don't think we're going to sign 3 players and box these contracts off within the next 4 to 5 weeks. I'm telling you right now, we'll be sat here every summer, every transfer window. Me and Avi, we have a fight, we have a argue, and I'm always right because his FSG's arse.
Last summer there were no complaints. Last summer
Murray,
we brought in McAllister. You loved Gravenberch on the talent alone. Everyone was galvanizing with that signing. This guy down here was creaming over Szoboszlai, and then we brought Endo. We thought, wait a minute, what's going on here? Maybe a stopgap. We tried for Caicedo. We did a show when I was driving back from Silicon Valley. We were doing a live show on YouTube with Sarib as well. When we was thinking, oh my God, we've actually gone and bid for Caicedo. That was his choice to go to Chelsea. Granted, we bulged up the Romeo Lavia deal by going back the second time when he was like, what, you didn't want me the first time. You wanted Caicedo, and now you've come back from me. He went to Chelsea, fine. But that summer last year, we can go back to our shows. Relatively, we were all happy. I think we even gave it a 7 out of 10 window, which was fine. Klopp was happy with those players that he had brought in. We had addressed the midfield area. Yes or no? Yes, right?
Yes, we.
So I'm asking you again, Gene. Do we bring a centre back? And who's the next choice for you in who you want? Say Euro's gone now. Who would you want us to bring in now and centre back option?
There's a lot of players, Avi, that I want. There was links. We've seen the likes of players like Lukeba and Diomande. I really like Diomande from what I've seen. I think he's a fantastic centre back. We will buy. Avi, I'm not saying that Liverpool Football Club isn't going to buy. I really wanted Calafiori, Avi. I'm not going to lie. I know he's gone to Arsenal. People can give me this injury record and all that type of stuff. I really wanted him because I just think on that left-hand side, we needed a left-footed ball-playing centre-back that's good enough to go play out wide. He had every single attribute to become an unbelievable footballer. And Arsenal have got fair play to them. Look, you got to give that, hold your hands up sometime and say they've just bought a brilliant footballer who will make it work. But there are other players out there, Avi. There are players. My issue is, just say we bring in a Lukeba, right? We bring in a Lukeba.
Solid signing, by the way. If he was to come, solid signing. I think Leipzig won 60 million.
I think I just got this feeling.
Has he got a buyout clause for 60 million?
No, it's not a buyout, but they won pretty much 60 million euros.
Yeah, right? And then I just get this feeling, Asim, we are going to buy Anthony Gordon. I think that we're going to.
You just read the Ant Dicko's comment. I still have a feeling you'll sign good.
I don't think we're going to buy Anthony Gordon if we don't sell Diaz.
Diaz should be.
But I don't think.
It's not Diaz. Maybe it's not Diaz, the forward, that you should be concentrating on who we're selling. Just saying.
Here we go.
I've always said. I'll say it again. I truly believe that if someone comes with the right money for Diego Jota, he's gone.
All right. Anyway, but my issue in the DM position, Avi, is I don't think we're gonna buy one.
I'm talking about centre backs now. We'll come to DMs. You're jumping the gun like you always do.
I gave you the names, man. I thought I gave you the names. Either Diomande and what's his name?
Would you be happy with Lukeba and Diomande? One of those two.
Yes.
Asim?
I'd take them.
Yeah.
Asim, but you were a big fan of, not a big fan, but I think you've spoken on him before. And the links have surfaced tonight. Goncalo Inacio.
Look, Avi, when we saw him initially, he's an upgrade to Robertson in terms of manipulating the ball, getting involved in the build-up, defensively, generally speaking, more physicality in terms of his posture and natural physicality. I think he's 6'1". Correct me if I'm wrong, someone in the comments. But in terms of natural defensive material, he's an upgrade to Robertson. But the modern game, especially how teams are going to press at the highest level, 1v1, you need 1v1 quality on the touchline. And I'm just sort of concerned. I think I made the comparison that he's more of a Laporte, where he's very, very good on the ball, progressive passing between the lines. And that's what you need. Robertson can't do that, where he stays in the last line and makes those passes. He needs to be ahead behind the ball, driving into space on the touchline and being on the overlap. Is he more conventional? Yes. Is he going to improve us defensively? Yes. But we're a team that plays on the front foot, especially 99.9% of the teams at Anfield or even away from home when we're visiting teams. We get 70% of the ball, at least 65. So we need to break down a bus. So that player or that profile of player, Avi, needs to be comfortable, like Calafiori, like Lukeba, like Hinsapi, going into areas and being the sixth attacker. I'm not sure that Inacio is that. And I'm also concerned about his 1v1 quality. Someone like Nathan Aki is that type of player where he's really got those sort of low center of gravity when he needs to be gets low. And if you really want to be the highest level, someone like Guardiola, that is the complete profile. We need someone comfortable in defensive areas and build-up areas, but can also invert and go on the underlap and overlap. We need that profile to be complete because it's such a specialist role. And that's what Liverpool need to go into the market, get that player. Even if you have to play a 10, 15 million pound premium, we need that profile. That profile in terms of that upgrade to Robertson should have been next year. And it's such more important is because we don't have a world-class or even a proper established DM. So you can't ask for Trent to be more conventional. You can't ask for Robertson to be more conventional up and down and not have a Fabinho in midfield. It just doesn't work. We have to be, and I think there was really sort of evident that Slot keeps on mentioning his control in build-up. And that's my sort of really hope that he provides, control in the build-up. So when we do lose the ball, we're in a lot better position to win it back.
Centre backs is the I don't know what to say. I think we will get a defender. I think Lukeba is one. For me, ideally, if I wanted a centre back who can play left, Jarell Hato of Ajax. I think he, again, those words, generational. I think him, Euro, they're the upcoming defenders. Jarell Hato would be a lot of money. 17, how much would he cost? Lukeba is definitely one I think we've probably had eyes on or we've inquired about in previous years. Some have looked at him. He is at Leipzig, and they play hardball. They play hardball. But if we was to come in for 55, 60 million, there would be no arguments. DM role, Asim, because there's a lot of people in the comments saying Edison this, Ugarte, who I think me and you have agreed, Asim, he's not the progressive six that we want at the club. I think that sort of era of having that kind of defined six is kind of gone for top clubs like Man City, who've got Rodri, who does so much more than just sit in there. We do want a progressive six. Edison of Atalanta, Asim, another player and links that have surfaced again in the last sort of 48 hours. You know, Coop Miners, I've heard names of him. I know. Jeez, look. But Edison, though, Asim, your thoughts?
I mean, I saw Edison against Liverpool. He comes across more of a box-to-box midfielder to me, who is a space eater. There's the word I've been using for the last week or two.
Can you just elaborate a little bit on that too?
Space eater, Avi, is self-explanatory. A guy who can
You have to explain space eating to you, Avi. Come on, Avi.
who can cover, who's got
You
the
know what
legs.
space eating means to me?
Well,
Exactly.
Avi, a guy who's got the legs and cover large distances. And when I mentioned Ugarte, I do believe he's a space eater. He's a dueler. He loves a tackle. I think his tackle percentage is like sort of 93 or 94 percentile. So he's that player. Well, I mentioned I was trying to troll Man United fans as well on Twitter and say at top clubs you need to be more than that. But the problem for Liverpool is, where do you find another Rodri from? That is the problem, because he is the progressive. He's probably one of the best DMs ever. Especially
you know who's the Rodri? The guy that came on for him against England.
He's that profile though, isn't he? He doesn't have the natural physicality of Rodri, but in terms of progressive controlling DM, Zubimendi, I've only seen bits of him. You've seen a lot more.
We said I think me and Gene last summer, we said, listen, if there's a player that we want, it's Zubimendi. And this was last summer. And the performance that he put on that 45 minutes, breaking the lines, just sitting in there. And he's not a big figure, Asim. He's not got a massive stature to him. He's a scrawny little kid. Not say kid, he's like 24, but
yeah,
he's the one that I want, a controller who can do the dirty work, who just sees the game for what it is.
Don't you think he's more in the mold of McAllister?
No, I see him as a Rodri. That center circle, push the pace, break through the lines with his passing.
He's a space eater.
Yeah, I call him a space eater. I think he covers ground very quick. Yeah, he's got the legs, covers ground very, very well, Asim.
Because
press when he needs to.
If you can't cover ground against in a Liverpool side, you're really going to struggle to win back the ball. We're going to look really exposed in transitions. That's what Fabinho really did
years ago.
Sorry,
like we did with when you only had Fabinho a couple of years ago when he left. We in midfield we'd get battered.
We couldn't. I don't think Slot brings in a Zubimendi type, Avi.
I agree.
You think he brings in like a set six?
A more position six in terms of who was it? Matt Sweefer for him.
He's going to Brighton, isn't he?
No, Feyenoord for him.
Okay.
He was that sort of profile, wasn't he? Even though I don't think Matt Sweefer is good enough for Liverpool, but going back to Edison, I think
Adam Wharton,
I've been watching him a lot more. Ball manipulator. He likes the tackle. He's really.
I thought he taught our midfield a lesson at Anfield this season.
Both games, Avi.
Wharton would be like really high on my list, but I've been watching Varela from Porto over the last 2-3 days in terms of being that Rodri and being the Declan Rice, if you like, because we got those Premier League examples. I think he's better than Ugarte. He's an upgrade of obviously on all our DMs at the moment. But do we go? I think he's going to be around about 60-70 million as well. Varela's passing percentile is up there, 97% as well. Pass completion is very good as well. And he likes to tackle. Do we go back into the Portuguese market because of our links? I don't know. But again, the narrative comes out of the club, Avi, is there's no DM out there.
Thank you. That is my issue.
I don't like this narrative. What are we going to do for 2-3 years? Sit around waiting for this,
This is when I said.
Can we take a risk on Bajicic then as a 6th this season on his fitness and everything? Can we take that risk?
That's what we're going to do, Avi. Because
And
you know what?
if he stays fit for the if he stays fit if he stays
You're not going to find the perfect DM who's cost 30 million pounds, wants only 50 grand a week, and that's what we're going to try and look for. And then what's going to happen? Oh, there wasn't the perfect midfielder out there. We couldn't get him. There was no value for money, which Abby's going to come out to me and say, oh, you know what, Gene? There was no value for money. He was 16.
I'm
he was
not
10,
making
he
any
was 24.
excuses for FSG. What I will say is
That's the truth.
I assess the owners.
This is what they're going to come and say again. That way, I'm telling you now, in 6 weeks' time, the centre back we will buy, a winger we will buy. We will not buy a DM, simply because we've got so many midfielders. There's no value for money. Look, I'm not saying I haven't seen an amazing midfielder, bar the ones that have already just gone to these big clubs. Yeah, right. If you really want to buy a guy, you're gonna have to pay the dough. Caicedos, the Rices, they went for big bucks, because all the rest of the players out there, they're not on that sort of level. We are not paying that sort of fee, and especially not paying stupid fees for a player that we don't even believe deep down that, you know what, he's worth the money. So pull his job.
I think budget Stefan can be developed into that player. He's got those attributes, and that's what we probably need to do. Whether we do it from the squad or we do it from the outside, we have to get someone. He won't be like a classic DM, whether they're a proper positional one, dueler, who can play a ball on the half turn as well. We're not going to find one of them. We have to bring in someone like Edison maybe and develop them into a DM. If we're not going to buy someone, the thing is I would be happy with Stefan doing it, but it's unfair on a kid who played 12 games and broke down and didn't play. How many minutes did he play last season? About 10.
Yeah,
about 10.
I think the club last season were very, very careful with Bajicic's recovery and stuff as well. But yeah, he only had 10, 15 minutes last season. Asim, you put a name out there this week. I had to keep rubbing my eyes because I thought it was João Neves, but it wasn't. I was reading it clearly. It was Ruben Neves. A name that you were given, or a name that you think that would interest us?
What do you think? I just had a dream and woke up and said, we've
Ruben
inquired
today.
about João Neves. Avi, look, I was told that we've inquired about him. I don't normally go on.
Can we question the source? Are you going to reveal that source?
It's Heinz. I'm not going to tell you if it's tomato ketchup or mayonnaise, but it was Heinz. Quite a reliable Heinz, not a fake one from Turkey or somewhere.
How old is Ruben now? Ruben Neves, 27?
28. But Avi, look, I don't think, he's a natural DM. He's more of a box-to-box midfielder he's really, really good on the ball. I've seen him a few times, especially when, the Wolves used to play that wing-back system. He could ping it left or right, and, you could bypass a press. He's a useful player. Maybe 2-3 years later now, yes, I don't think Liverpool did like him in the past as well. And
is he a space eater, though?
I don't think he's a space eater.
I don't think he's at all.
I don't think he's a space eater. So I don't think Liverpool, that move will materialize. All the big Arab pages started DMing me and saying he's going nowhere. Liverpool, even they've want him, he's not going to come. He's happy here. He's had an absolute monstrous season for Al Ittihad as well last season. So yeah, look, I don't think it materializes. But whoever we buy, that profile of player needs to be a space eater. Wiki's calling that player a kota. What he means about a kota is 6 foot, positioned, disciplined. Let the footballers do their, because that's what we've got, Avi. We've got plenty of technicians in this squad. We don't have those profiles that like a tackle, roll their sleeves up. We don't. Stefan,
throw me a name. Guys, just before Asim throws me a name, 266 of you here. Please like and subscribe. We've got some regular guests on. Grizz has joined us. Grizz is in the house for a couple of minutes before. I know he's enjoying his kebab today with the Big Six lot, and they'll be on their way to LA, I think, on Monday. So big up to them and Big Six. But please, guys, make sure you've liked and subscribed. We are on our way to 15k, and obviously we will give some more information later on towards the end of the show, where Asim will just relay the information about playback. Give me a name, Asim. Just give me a name.
From all the guys who I've seen most of, and I've not seen a lot of him, but that 90 minutes at Anfield, you touched on it earlier, Avi. Wharton is a footballer who can, mix it about with the dirty side of the game. And he also is so comfortable in possession, because that is imperative. I don't want, because there's been a lot of talk about Slot playing the 4-2-3-1, the 4-3-3, the 4-1-4-1. Whatever we play, it'll be a fluid system with Slot, like it was with Jurgen Klopp as well. But with that DM, when he receives that ball, especially if you want Trent to be conventional, that single pivot needs to be very, very comfortable on the half turn, press resistant, needs to have a ping if you've got people on the touchline to bypass the press. And I think Adam Wharton has got that, and he can make us sustain attacks. When Liverpool, peak Liverpool, and I know it was a different type of Liverpool with a lot of energy and harass teams as well up the pitch, but when we really squeezed teams, it was Fabinho who was on the edge of the box, making that first tackle so we can go again. And that's what Rodri does so well. When that ball comes out of possession, that when that loose ball comes out, he's one of the first guys to win that ball back. And when he starts, spraying it around, little chip balls, from left to right, that's how you sustain attacks, and that's how you beat low blocks, because it's relentless. And Gary Neville talks about it in commentary all the time, where in the last 10, 15 minutes against these sort of teams, your legs go, is because it's relentless. So whether we do that with Stefan Bajcetic, whether we develop him into that, I don't know. But like I said, it's really, really unfair to be relying on a kid who's just played 12 games and broke down.
Gene, Adam Wharton, what kind of money are we talking? And is he a player that would interest you?
Guys played 15, 16 games in the Premier League, and he's been brilliant. And they're going to demand 100 million. They're going to demand stupid money for Adam Wharton.
Especially after letting Elise go, Gene.
Exactly. And if you guys ever think we're paying that, and I'm sure the comment that came up about the 75 games earlier, he's definitely out of that bracket in terms of data and all that sort of stuff. So,
Haven't you give me a name?
I'd love for him to come.
I would actually love Adam Wharton. I think he's a brilliant player. I think he can do so much.
Anyone else?
You know what? There's Arib says Morton Hoy. Oh, I can't even say that name. Hulmand. I think it's a silent H. Hulmand, silent J. Sorry. Everyone keeps going on about this player last season for Sporting Lisbon, that he was a really good player. He had plays for Denmark as well, national team. A lot of people are mentioning his name, but I'm not sure. I thought he was Spurs bound, but obviously he's not. But no, I've not seen enough of him. But obviously played for Ruben Amorim in a successful season where they've won the league. I don't know names: Adam Wharton, Edison, Zubi for me. Asim, Zubi There you go. Grizz might know more. Sporting Lisbon DM. He might know more. He might know more than that tells a story. Maybe we do like him. But Zubi for me is that player that you're mentioning, like Rodri. I think he has it in him.
I've not seen enough of him. As long as he's as a space heater and a controller, then I'm game. I don't want anyone to come through the Liverpool doors.
Gene, what's the chocolate for, Gene?
Look, listen to me. I'm being honest. Yeah, you know what? Bring Kante. I'm with Grizz. Bring us Kante. I will be happy with that for 2 years. I'll be happy with that for 2 years. I'll take that for 2 years. No, I'm being serious. If you said to me, give us Kante,
I'm gonna have to block Grizz with that comment.
A new player Kante. That with Endo, I'll take Kante right now.
You're serious, Gene?
You would have won Zubi Gene. You would have won Zubi.
I would take Kante for right now.
Would you not want Zubi?
There's nobody really out there that is actually, we think, go and spend that under 80, 90 million on that.
You know what I'm gonna say? You know what I'm gonna say about Kante's profile? Is I don't think he's a single pivot.
Yeah,
he's too busy. He's too busy. He's too busy.
Yeah, he's 33 years old. He needs to chill out now, innit? Just become a proper DM.
He's too busy.
Yeah, we tell him to chill out now, innit? Be a proper DM.
Super chat, guys. Super chat.
He's an old timer. He's an old timer.
Not now. Not now. Behave yourself.
No, I'm not saying now. As his achievements in the Premier League, you have to say he's one of the best, ever to play the game.
Man said Kante 2 and 4.
Bro,
Grizz dropped the kebab, okay? I think the kebabs have got something in them.
Yeah, I would take. Look, what you have to understand is, I genuinely don't believe Liverpool believe that there are players in the market that make sense. If you said to me, do I want Kante? I want other players, but I believe it will make sense because we're not going to go and spend stupid money on one because we don't believe there's a one out there that's good enough. Otherwise, he would have already been here.
So Gore goes, I'd rather have Grizz than Ruben Neves in the middle of the park. And Grizz could move around a bit.
Grizz has got a bad knee.
Grizz was Jan Moby back in the day, so he tells us.
Avi was Michael Laudrup.
Michael Laudrup. Me and Grizz would have been a good actually pivot. Me and Grizz as a pivot.
You know, when Avi's pissed, he tells us he's Laudrup. When he's sober, he tells us I used to play at Yari Lipmanen.
No, I was that hybrid, that 10 hybrid, man. Selection, thank you for the super chat as always, man. Big up yourself. Wharton seems like a deep lying playmaker, 96. Pepelu and Yusuf Nadeshimi looks like a good fit, in my opinion. Zubi ain't no space eater either. What's the final again? What's the last 45 minutes? But thank you for the super chat as always, Selection. No, Kante, come on. Grizz just having a laugh. He's just having he's like Kante maybe back in the day, of course, 100% from Leicester. Any panic stations yet between you two? Any amongst you two? Is there panic stations yet, or do we panic in another week or so?
I'm concerned. I'm concerned.
I'm not panic stations.
I'm concerned about the contract situation as well.
I think I'm more. Avi, I'm not being funny with you. I'm actually more concerned with the contract situation than signings right now.
Okay, I'm not panicking yet.
So what took us so long with the contracts, Avi? Did the player Arne Slot need to have a look at Mo Salah, Van Dijk, and Trent to see if they're good enough?
I don't think Slot will decide contracts at all.
Huh?
I think Slot wants to keep all three, but Slot has nothing to do with the negotiation.
Whatever, okay, a hierarchy, whatever they are, man. Do they need to think about it?
Adam, on the contrary to Selection, the super chat is 100% a spacey. People need to watch Sociedad of last season, how they set up. Kubo was a name actually. Asim, your thoughts on Kubo? Sociedad winger, lightweight for me, a tad lightweight for the Premier League.
I've seen some compilations. I'm not going to lie, Avi. I don't watch a lot of Spanish football. I think we were linked with him around about 5-6 months ago as well, when the whole talk of
he had
Salah.
a good season. Had a very good season.
Yeah. So really good dribbler. He's got a trick or two, but yeah, you're right. Is he a mini Minamino with a lot of tricks on the touchline? I don't know. I don't want to give an opinion on the profile of a player and before I've seen him properly. So look, I know I should be watching a bit more because maybe we look at the Salah replacements in a year or so, because I think Salah's going to be here for the next 12 months at least. But then we can talk about Salah's replacements after that. But yeah, in terms of personally watching the player, I'm not seeing enough for him to give you a proper insight.
Gene, is it one of those for Kubo, or is it one of those you've got to see how he goes on?
I'm not. I liked him a few years ago. I've seen him a few times. He was at Real Madrid. I know he went on loan a few times to a few clubs, and you thought there was going to be a player there. Sociedad, obviously, I've seen him a lot more over the last couple of years because he's been starting. I know he's a decent season. In terms of lightweight, I don't think he can quite a Liverpool Football Club. We need somebody a bit more dynamic, with a bit more pace. Definitely with a bit more pace. I don't think he's pacey enough to replace Salah on that wing anyway.
Contract situations in Asim, obviously the one that where the tongues are wagging right now is Trent Alexander-Arnold. He is on his holidays. I think 2 weeks they get, 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. A disappointing Euros. He got his moment against Switzerland with the winning penalty, but Trent Alexander-Arnold, Liverpool. He has dreams to become Liverpool captain. He captained them throughout last season, a little bit here and there, and then he got that injury. If you're in his situation, new manager, new shape, new formation, maybe it'll be another 2-3 years before we really challenge City, Arsenal again for the title. And then you got Real Madrid, who will be openly flirting with him over the course of the next year. What would you do? If you're a boyhood Liverpool fan, what would you do? Won everything, personal accolades, team accolades.
He's very competitive, isn't he, Avi? And the only thing that makes him stay is that lifelong ambition to replicate what Stevie G did, walk out Anfield as the captain of Liverpool Football Club. But apart from that, his idol, the manager that brought him into this team, Jurgen Klopp, the pillar of this city, has gone. Has he got the drive and the ambition to stay at the club at the moment and go again? Does he need convincing? 100%. Does Van Dijk need convincing? 100%. Does Salah need convincing? Less so because of the age of himself and the situation that he is in. But this guy's his peak of his career, and the peak years are ahead of him. If I was him, and the way he comes across in terms of his ambition, I would leave. And is he a Real Madrid player? 100%. Carvajal is going to leave in the next year or two or retire, or whatever he wants to. And he's
What, retire at 28?
He's not 28.
Yeah, Carvalho's young. 28,
No
29.
chance.
Either I'm a
Danny
Chutia.
Carvajal.
Either I'll be a Chutia or you're a Chutia.
He's not 28.
Carvajal. Are you having a laugh? He can't be 28, man.
He's not 28, Avi.
32.
He's 32.
He's born on my birthday as well.
I
He's
know.
born on 32. 32.
Yeah, he's been playing for like 30 years.
Wiki Chupkar, he's not 36,
Yeah,
he's
but
32.
whatever
He's
he
32.
if he goes to Saudi or anything like that. Avi, Trent is a generational talent who deserves to go to Real Madrid and play in the biggest matches, in the biggest competitions with the best players in the world. And look, I'm really concerned. And a lot of fans are saying, why are you sort of worrying? He's a Liverpool through and through. He's going to sign the contract. And he may well do. I hope he is. But if I'm being honest, the current state, how things stand right now, I'm worried. Really, really worried. And if I'm going to be really honest, you two know who we talk to really close to the club, ex-players. One is a big, massive legend at Liverpool Football Club. And we've had private conversations. I can't name the two ex-players at Liverpool. And we've had private conversations. Gene knows in one conversation he was there. And they both gave their opinions about Trent. And they said, look, he's won everything. And we think he's going to leave. So I don't want to scare people. I don't want to tweet this. But people are watching here tonight can, be privy to this information, that if ex-players at the club are saying this, then this is what makes me worried. And whether they're doing it on behalf of any information through the club, I don't know. I think it's opinion. But even if it's opinion, it's very concerning, Avi, because, these guys do have experience and they might have talked to his family, his agents, his representatives. I don't know. I didn't ask. But it is really, really worrying about Trent at the moment because we've left him holding all the cards in this situation. And if Real Madrid come, I don't think Real Madrid sign him this summer. They will say, play your 12 months at Liverpool, have a good send-off.
Who'd you talk to? Jose Enrique?
I can say it's not Enrique. But Real Madrid, like Gene touched on earlier, they sort of prey on these sort of signings. I think, who did they sign for free? Mbappe, for God's sake. I don't need to mention.
Yeah, but you say that, but they've also given him a 60 million euro signing on fee too. It's not a free deal, is it really?
To do that with the Trent. They're not going to. It doesn't work. It used to be, I think, even Emre Can got 10 million from Juve, but it's spread across the wages, isn't it? So Liverpool, I think, will offer him around about 300, max 350, maybe. Incentivize it with the bonuses and player performances and stuff like that, trophies. He might get up to 350, whatever, 400, absolute hitting the red zone. But if he goes to Real Madrid, Avi, he can get 40-50 million signing on fees spread throughout his 4-5 years contract and win trophies. So I think Liverpool have got a lot of convincing to do. That word we mentioned with the likes of Euro, when Liverpool sit down with Trent over the next week or two, we've got a lot of convincing to do, because I don't want Liverpool to set up a slot to fail. I don't want that to happen. And if we don't get Trent and Salah and Van Dijk contracts over the line and dip into the market, he might be the right man in terms of coming in and following Klopp. His structure and playing style is very similar to Klopp. But I don't want Liverpool to set up a slot to fail because we didn't really back him in the market.
Gene, you said for quite a while now, you said it even when we weren't even finished from last season, that you thought Trent probably is going to leave Liverpool Football Club, but next summer. Are you still in the same notion that Trent leaves next summer?
Yeah, I still believe that he'll leave. It's not obviously. Look, I want him to stay. He's the one player that we just simply can't let go of. But I think it's his time. He's probably thinking my time's up. I've done everything. I've won everything. It's at probably the age now where I need to move on, sort of thing. And there's no club right now to go to them bigger than Real Madrid. Positions, the right back positions there for him to take over in 12 months' time. They'll pay him stupid money. He gets to go to Real, play for the best team in the world in that fantastic new stadium. I want him to stay. Obviously, I just think this time's up. I think another 12 months here at Liverpool, and I think he's off. Look, one thing I did want you to do is I wanted him to stay. I wanted him to sign. Oh, Grizz, yara bas karna tu. So I'm telling he's gonna sign. Tell he's not gonna sign. I'm sick of these ITKs. Don't let me go to you. Go for you once you.
You guys more signing.
Back, yeah. Avi knows I go for him every day. So please,
Okay.
You know what I'm about. I don't like it.
So both of you saying that he's gone.
Say signing, innit? I know your take. You said he's already signed to me.
No, I'm not saying. I'm not.
I think
I'm not saying he's gonna go. I'm concerned. That's what I'm saying.
I think in 15 days' time.
Oh, for fuck's sake! I'm
fucking waiting for Liverpool to be taken over in November.
I'm saying in 2.5 weeks, I think we'll get some good news about Trent.
Oh, here we go.
I know someone very close to a youngster who's connected with who's playing for the club, under 16s, who's represented by Trent's brother's agency. Trent doesn't want to go anywhere. Trent Alexander-Arnold does not want to go anywhere.
So let me get this right.
Let's just make sure the money's right, and let's just make sure that he likes what Slot tells him, and hopefully he buys into Slot's vision over the next sort of 2-3 years.
Okay.
I do think he signs a contract, Asim. I do think he will be here.
I hope you're right, Avi. I hope you're right. And look,
Virgil. Oh, sorry, Asim. Finish on.
It's going to be a massive surprise if.
No, of course not. Of course not.
A contract. Well, let's see.
And like you said, it is worrying because you'd expect Trent, who's Liverpool through and through, to come out with a statement and say, "Hey guys, I love Liverpool." But I'm telling you, let him come back from his holidays. I think it's going to be very, very telling in the next 2.5 weeks. Virgil van Dijk, Gene.
What about him?
He's staying, isn't he?
Yeah, I think he stays.
2-year extension. He'll be 35 then. Nice little trip to Saudi afterwards. MLS even.
He stays.
Yeah, I don't think Van Dijk is going anywhere.
So, okay. And then the King.
The King.
I don't think there'll be anything. I think we're in a position with Mo Salah right now that I don't think it's controversial when I say this. I think we're comfortable if he does leave next summer. He's done everything. He deserves, to have one more final paycheck in Saudi. Go and improve the game. Go and get, more stardom in the, in the UAE, in the Middle East, in Saudi. Go and, create this sort of footballing sort of support in the Arab world. I don't think there'll be any issues if Salah leaves next summer. He'll be 33. We wouldn't begrudge him to leave on a free, would we?
Yeah, I think he's just turned 33, hasn't he? Or just turned 32?
Someone like that, whatever.
Yeah,
he's just turned 32.
Okay.
Sign him up, mate. The guy, not even in a year's time, the guy will still bag us 20 goals. He will always get us numbers.
Yeah, just turned
at the age of 33, 34, the guy will still bang, get us numbers. Asim, mentioned it on the pod on last week. Look, I think he was on thingy where he mentioned in the 6-minute test that they're doing. He came out number 1 again. This guy is a machine. He's built as a machine. He's a player that will play until at least 36, 37. That Saudi contract will always be there. So sign him up, Avi. You have. I know they're comfortable, but you can't have all of these players going this close to their contracts and not doing something. We have to do something about it. You can't have your 2 best players, arguably Van Dijk and Salah, not really got their replacements sorted out as yet. We don't even have another a right winger. Forget bloody replacing him. We don't even have an understudy right now. So fair play. Look, Liverpool have to do something about that. I'd sign him up on a 2-year deal. Personally, I'd do that because then if he does go, at least we're gonna bring some money into the football club. If he doesn't play as well, at least then that money's still there. I want him to stay. Oh yeah, shut up, Grizz. He's finished. What are you gonna tell me now, flipping? You're telling me every other player is finished as well. My guy comes back from an injury and man tells me he's finished. Get him on next time. Me and him. Tal. Sort him out next time. Grizz, come on next time.
Let me see if I can.
Come on now.
Let me ask him what his rate is.
Don't go for more.
He might charge us a rate. He's going to start charging us a rate these days.
But you don't go for more Salah when I'm in the house. Everybody knows that. Sarib will tell you.
Give him the link. Give him the link. Aida.
No, he won't come on today. You know, he's
I think he's joking. I think he's joking. But the guys who say Salah's finished, they don't know they don't know what football is. If they just think Salah, tell me when the last time Salah went past a player. Tell me. He doesn't need to. He still creates so much fullback ice separation, so much that he doesn't need to take on a player. But look at his output: goals and progressive passes and chance creation. It's off the scale. Off the scale.
Do we have to manage him though this season, Asim?
Yeah, I think so. I think you even might see Salah in some central areas where we play a fluid 4-2-3-1, where he plays the second striker role, and then off the ball he's the second striker, just like KDB plays for Man City. I think he can play back to goal. But against some other teams, he'll play as a winger as well, or inside forward. I think you'll see maybe the first season where you really see him in some central positions.
Who's the breakout player this season from the academy? I'll go first.
No.
I think Ben Doak's going to be the one this season.
I only think because you mentioned it, Avi. I'm only like, that's your call.
I think last season was they wanted to give him minutes, and then he, truly got that injury. But I think this season, I think he's going to surprise a lot. I think we're going to see real output in terms of assists, getting in dangerous positions, scoring goals. Sorry,
right hand side.
I think left and right. I think he will alternate. The Preston 4.5 minutes we saw yesterday, he was on both sides.
All right.
Yeah,
I missed the game if I want to.
On the left.
This lad.
This is the lad, man.
16. He looks so at ease. You know what? There are shades of Musiala in him, 100%. He just looks like he looks so talented. He looks at ease at this level. Maybe hopefully some league games. Dan he looks as if he's bulked up a little bit over the last sort of month and a half, 2 months. I think
the way Nayoni just had that touch and he bypassed that player, and when he ran into the box, you can't teach that.
His class. No, and I think that's where we get stuck. We want to make signings, but some players, they might be ready for that level, Asim. They might be ready to push, not in the league games, but maybe a few appearances in the Champions League in the early stages, League Cup games, FA Cup games. There will be obviously some loans that go out. I think Tyler Morton will be most probably on, I think he'll be depart. His departure is probably soon to another club, maybe championship level. But Nayoni Doak anymore. Kwanzaa will obviously be there. Bradley obviously will come through. Dan's.
I think Dan's might go
out on loan.
Yeah,
I can see it. I think Dan's. I think Bobby Clark, Lewis Kumas. I think will go out on loan.
Yeah, Kumas though.
I think there's 3-4 there where you think that they will. Have we actually? Yeah,
I think Tyler Morton might be sold.
Oh no, he's gone. Truti, he's gone. I think he'll be gone. Have we signed that Rio Maguimbia?
Nothing official as of yet. Nothing official.
There'll be uproar if someone else has snapped him up.
No, it's done, man. I'm sure that is done in it.
I thought it was done.
There's nothing official. We didn't see him like holding a Liverpool shirt. Nothing.
No, they usually don't do at that age, do they? At 15, 16.
Yeah, maybe not.
Just a few comments, guys. I think Ash sent us a super chat. Ash, one of the regulars from last season and this season. The
Thank
6th market for FSG is barren. I think Angelo Stiller might be a sweet spot for the 35 to 45 million value. Anything on Angelo Stiller, boys, for you? Dorogu for left centre back again will be FSG sweet spit price. Please get the 3 boys contracts sorted ASAP. 2 will get sorted. 1 will be.
I want to ask you about this because you're, John Henry, Chacha. The FSG model, the sweet spot. Do you think the model or the approach is slightly outdated? Then
it is. Of course, it is.
Because everyone's got a laptop now. Everyone's carrying a laptop. There's nerds at every club. The competition is so high to really, find a bargain at that sweet spot where a player has played around about 170 odd games at the age of 22, 23. If you go there, most likely now, because everyone's got a laptop, there's maybe a club or two already at the table. So when there's a club already at the table, you're paying a premium, and then Liverpool can walk away. Similar example, I know there was, first team assurances with Leroy Euro, but a similar case to that where Liverpool just don't want to pay that extra 10, 50 million and they walk away. But the lower you go on your shortlist, it generally reflects in quality as well. Is that a concern for you?
Of course, it's a concern, Asim. And like, I'm not here to look. I have a little laugh with everyone by putting FSG, whatever, not John Henry, but of course it is Asim. Not only that, Lenny Euro. Maybe before, like 3 years back, we could have got a deal done with the agent. These agents are flirting these youngsters out to the biggest and highest bidder. That's where the game has come to right now. It's all money. Look at Gabriel Viega, a Spanish starlet
Yeah.
2 seasons back at Celta Vigo. He was on the verge of, we were linked with him last summer. He goes to Saudi Arabia at 20 years old. He was supposed to be a starter for the Spanish team this season. He would have got in ahead of maybe Yamal. But so these agents who have these youngsters, they're flirting them to the highest bidder and for money. They don't care which club they go to. They actually don't. These agents don't actually protect their asset. They don't care which player is best for development. They just care about the money. And unfortunately, these young players who are coming through systems, yes, majority of them should be on that straight and narrow. Like I care about my career. But you see some young players now, they're going for the money, Asim. And
Yeah.
if we think that every youngster that we want at the club is coming for Liverpool, very few and far between. It will only get worse as well, this situation.
Well,
There
haven't
will
the
be
youngsters got a point, Gene, where when about 4 or 5 years ago, when Liverpool, or about 6, 7, when Klopp came, you could hit that sweet spot where you can target 18, 19, 20-year-old or slightly older and say, okay, we're bringing you in, we're going to take you. What we did with Salah, we did what we did with Mane and a few other players as well. Well, now we're at a level where we're competing at the highest level for the Champions League, for the league, where
This
you
is
need to pay a premium now. So don't
100%.
FSG need to adjust that model and reflect that?
100%. And this is the one of the issues that most of the fans have is when we really need a player that's going to take us to the next level, you have to pull it out. People will come, and there's going to be times I know people are going to say, look, that it happened with Van Dijk, it happened with Alisson, we paid the money. We all know that a lot of that was from Coutinho. Yeah. But if there's a big deal there to be done, that Klopp even said that we'll do it, but I simply can't see that happening anymore, where we go and spend stupid money on a player that's going to take. Look, Declan Rice, Arsenal struggled just really badly. They realised that we have to go and spend stupid money and go for the best. At that time, was in probably the best five, right? In that position. They went and signed Declan Rice. He took him to the next level. Now he's probably the best two behind Rodri in that position in this league. This is what you have to sort of do. Did they play a premium on Declan Rice? Of course they played the premium. So you can't always, penny pinch and let data do the talking. Sometimes you got to be bold and you got to be brave. And Klopp said one thing: we need this club in terms of the market. He wanted the club to take a few more risks, which we really weren't allowed to do. Avi, this is another thing. We just not risk averse. We have to be able to at times say, okay, you know what? Go for it. Let's throw some money at this player. If he's going to take us to the next sort of level, and we believe he is, we're at that sort of crossroads again now, where we're on the cusp of hitting close to the Arsenal and City, where we can really go from. We're only a couple of players short. I know, it might be all doom and gloom right now, but we're still only a couple of players
short. Did we do that last season with McAllister and Szoboszlai though?
I mean, McAllister was a brilliant signing. But McAllister felt, for me, Caicedo was that big signing though. If they managed to pull Caicedo off at that moment where they thought, you know what, he's the player we know makes sense, and threw the money at him, right? Look, people will come to me and say now that, you know what, it was all bullshit, it was just a PR stunt, but they did throw the money at him. We know that they did that, so they do have that in their armory. But let's go and actually, what I'm trying to say is, go and throw that money on a player now that you think is going to take you to the next level. And please don't come to me back and say there is no player in world football but we can't go and spend good money and that's going to take us to the next level. I don't buy that. I don't buy that. That is my issue. I think we're at the crossroad now, Avi, where we have to spend big.
Asim, I agree. I don't think you can shop at 30, 40 million anymore. You've got to shop at top 60, 70, and then you've got to pay these agents off. You've got to pay 150, 180, 200,000 a week, 250 even. Whether we do that and remain sustainable, I'm not sure. Look, I always will say at the end of the window, assess the owners. For the last 3 out of the 4 summers, last 3 out of the 4 years in the by September time, I'm always critical of the owners. Last summer they got away with it. Got away with it. We know they tried for Caicedo. Caicedo wanted Chelsea at that point. Money, whatever. We went toe to toe with Todd Bowley and said, look, 115. We had the Ornstein bomber and said Liverpool have not only matched Chelsea, they've gazumped Chelsea at the 11th hour for Caicedo. We thought it was set in stone then. It was a foregone conclusion. Caicedo is going to come to Liverpool and Klopp's Liverpool and play alongside McAllister. It wasn't to happen. So I think that's the kind of ambition we need to see this summer, but actually go through with it. I think Richard Hughes, I think maybe he might be feeling the pressure too. If this summer goes totally wrong and we've only brought in third choice kind of players, look, would I be happy with a Dio? Would I be happy with a Diomande and a? Would I be happy with a Diomande and an Edison? Yes, I would be happy with that. Would I be happy with
Yeah, I'd be happy with that.
an Anasio and a Edison? Yeah, a Zubimendi and Anasio. Yes, I'd be happy. But I do think we need three. We need three. I think a forward still is an issue, Asim. I don't know whether we can go into this third season with Darwin Núñez leading that front line. I don't.
You want to discuss Darwin Núñez after
Not now.
hour and 15 minutes?
Not now. But
Have you got another hour?
But there are holes. There are holes. But also, I do believe the likes of Gravenberch, the likes of Trent, the likes of McAllister, the likes of Szoboszlai. I think Szoboszlai needs a massive season.
He owes us one, Avi, man.
He needs a No, I think last season he got away with it. It was a good start. A good start, which kind of just like waned. He said there was a report straight from the Hungarian media outlet yesterday that he was carrying an injury from January onwards. But we need a big season. I still don't know where we fit Szoboszlai in. I see him as a 10. I don't see him as a durable 8 or the way Klopp had him set up in a midfield 3. He's not that player, Asim. He really isn't. He was blowing out of his arse by December.
Yeah.
And he's not a left winger. He is a 10. That's his natural position from Liefering, from Salzburg to Leipzig. The last thing that Marco Rose, he turned him into a hard running midfielder, but he's not in a 3. Gravenberch is the one. I'm really looking forward. And Kieran Dolan here, regular contributor to our chat, saying Gravenberch needs a serious season. I think it's pivotal that he does, because we know about the talk. We know about since the 16 years of age at Ajax breaking through. We've seen him against us in the Champions League when he was at Ajax. Goes to Bayern Munich, doesn't work out for him, or De Ligt. He needs a massive season. So there are 3-4 players there. If they up their level by another 10, 15, 20%, we will have a good season. But we do need to refresh the squad, of course. Ivan Toney, Jean, would he be a player of interest?
I'll take any striker in world football over Darwin Núñez, mate. Especially the likes of Tony and Watkins and these guys, 100%. I'd take them over Darwin Núñez. Look, I'm just peed off, so I'm just going to chill out. Look, Darwin Núñez, right? He's staying at this football club. There's no point in us talking about strikers or anything like that. Darwin Núñez is staying. He gets our back in. I hope he actually goes nuts and scores. 20 gives us 25 goals this season. I actually want him to do well, but we'll have to wait and see.
He might be banned for about 10 games.
No, he's not going
to get banned.
Look, I want the guy to score goals, Asim. Please put it in the back of the net. That's all I ask of this kid. Just please, your easy chances, just put them away and we will be all right. You can miss chances, no problem. But the easy ones, the sitters, just put them away. If Darwin Núñez can give us decent output this season, it can change and revitalize the whole team, because when the focal point of your team becomes the main man sort of thing in terms of Darwin, he can fight us to the title. He nearly did this season. He just really something, God knows what happened to him, where he just completely hit a barge pole. But look, Darwin Núñez is a big season. Avi, there's quite huge question marks over your boy Diaz, mate. That is one player. If we don't sign him over, if Gordon don't come and he stays, bro, this Diaz, he better do something this season, mate. Otherwise, chutti. Because I know that there's Gakpo there as well, and people are going to say to me, Gakpo's amazing and this and that. He's finally playing in that favored left side position. Yeah, all that narrative bullshit, yeah. But the truth is, right, and this is the way I see it, me personally, I believe we need a left winger. A left winger. I don't think they're both.
I don't think we do.
I don't think they're both good enough. Mate.
What?
I don't think we need a left
I
winger.
don't think Gakpo's good enough, and I don't think.
Avi?
I'm talking elite level now. Please don't start talking. That's the boy, bro. Get me that player. Sell both of them.
Look how he loves him now. Look how he loves Nico Williams now.
Avi, did I not give you the flowers for him? Did
I don't want
not give you
flowers.
the flowers? I gave you so many flowers for Nico Williams. Sell both.
Avi, is Nico Williams the new Sadio Mane?
He can go left to right, Connie. Of course he is. I don't think he'll ever. He can be as good as Mane. You know what? One thing, just a little bit nostalgic. I don't think we ever, even you two, because you've got that little affiliation, you know, being Muslim and whatnot. I don't think we ever gave Mane the credit he deserved.
I loved Mane.
I still don't think he gets the credit he deserved. We talk about Giggs, Perez, we talk about Overmars. You know, he's only here for fucking 2 years at Arsenal, but people still talk about him 20 years on. Henry's and whatnot on the left wings and whatnot. Sadio Mane was elite. When you look at his numbers, take the goals aspects away. If you look at the assists, the work rate, he doesn't. Honestly, Arib, for me, the greatest winger in the Premier League. What he could do, I still haven't seen a player 2 years on do what he does in any other club. You talk about the Martinellis, the Sakas, no chance, not on this guy's level.
No, he's a lot. With all due respect,
Salah's different. Salah is different. Before people say Salah was different.
Yeah,
Sadio Mane.
I love, and I will always give both. But that right hand side one, you talk about not getting the credit he deserves, mate. That man doesn't get the credit he deserves.
Who doesn't?
Salah doesn't get the credit he deserves more than any player I've
Mo.
ever seen.
Mo. I think Mo does.
Salah gets so disrespected by so many people.
No, but Gene, amongst Liverpool fans, I'm talking about Liverpool fans. I don't think we appreciate enough how great Mane was.
Of course we do, Avi, man. How can you not appreciate, bro?
No, sometimes I'm guilty of it. Sometimes I've got to look back at that 18 to 20 season, 2017 to 2021. I think shit. Mane was fucking everything. That league title winning season,
he was brilliant. He was the cutter. He was better than Salah that year.
That season, yeah. Carragher said it too. Yeah.
He won that, especially in the first 4 to 5 months of that season. He carried us to games, man. Really, really carried us, man.
The most underrated game from Mane, and he didn't even score. I don't even think he got an assist. Was the Barcelona game? That Barcelona game without Firmino, without Salah, he didn't score or get an assist. But that day, Mane laid it all on the ground. He laid everything on the floor. He was at death's door. That performance, at 5 minutes, he was absolutely brilliant. Leading the line with Origi, Shaqiri, he was brilliant. Boys, do we make 2 to 3 signings?
I think we make 2. That's my prediction.
Will you be happy with those 2, whoever they may be?
Yes, I hope so. I hope so. If there's 2, I'd be happy with that, as long as we sign Trent as well. If we don't sign Trent, Avi, there could be some FSG protests outside Anfield for your chacha.
I think we signed 2. I want 3, because if you really want to,
if you got 2 now, would Rio count as a third?
Oh, mom, Avi, please.
Rio, you're taking the piss. I want 3 players. I want a winger, I want a centre back, and I want a DM. You look, we're not asking for much. 3 players, man. That's a standard window where teams go and buy a good 3 players. More so when you've got rid of Matip's gone, Thiago's gone, you go and replace him. It's not exactly rocket science. 3 you have to sign Trent. Look, I want.
Avi, how many do you think Liverpool sign? Honest prediction.
Without Rio, 3.
Without Rio, and then
2 stars and 1 just aiming.
3 and Trent signs a new contract.
I'll take that. I'd be over the moon if you did that, mate.
But I don't think it's going to be the 3 that we're hoping for, or maybe our first choices.
No, as long as the players that are good players that we think, you know what, are going to work.
I don't want those. These back on the owners again. This is back on the owners and dating him. I don't want people who are just going to work. Gravenberch works. Endo works.
What do you mean by work?
Like they just fit the system. I want players who will excel, who are ready made to get us into that title challenge. That's what I want. I don't want players that they'll work. I don't want that anymore. Yes. Not as in like they don't. Yeah.
We need to improve our football. We need to improve our team.
Safeway, Nashabaleng, Edison and Nasir is the perfect window. Edison's a good shout.
I'm not a fan of Inacio. I'm not a fan.
Gary
Seriously.
Ridgway,
Edison I'll take.
give us a name you think is most likely at this time. Gene, go on.
Give us a name you most.
Any position.
I honestly don't have a clue.
No, but just
The
say a
only
name.
name that I can think of right now is Anthony Gordon.
I think what is likely, Avi, is that it depends on where Slot sees the likes of Trent playing, and another one is important. We haven't mentioned this, for the last hour and a half is Gomez. Does Slot see Joe Gomez as a 3rd/4th centre back choice, or does he see him as the utility man on both sides? If he sees him as a centre back, I can maybe see Liverpool going for someone like Mohamed Simakan.
Right back more, though. He's a right back more.
I know he's a more of a right back. I did a few checks on him. He's played about 148 games at centre back, 48 games at right back. So that doesn't mean that he's new to that role. But I think if he sees, it depends where he sees Trent. What if he sees Trent in midfield? Then what? Because this is going to be part of Trent's contract negotiations. Where do you see me playing for Liverpool Football Club?
That's what I said. 15 days time.
Cholo.
2.5 weeks.
Cholo.
I think Joe Gomez will definitely want clarification. I don't think he wants to be a utility player anymore. I don't think he likes himself on the left. I don't think he likes himself on the right. I think he wants to be a centre back.
Comment: if Trent wants to play in midfield, what do you do?
Then you
That's the question for him. That's not a question for me. Not
Tell
like
him.
if Trent wants to play in midfield, you play him in midfield.
Bitchos.
yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
I think so.
I'm with him.
I think so.
Real Madrid. Oh, give us Tuchemini. Give us 50 million to go.
Oh,
I would-
why
I
are you
would
trying to
say-
say He's not coming?
I would play Trent
Where's the
in the
where's the-
Szoboszlai role in a 4-3-3 ahead of Szoboszlai with Simakan on the right.
So who is your midfielder?
You wouldn't give Bradley a go then, Asim?
Huh?
You
No,
wouldn't.
if you're going to play Trent in that midfield role in a 4-3-3, I want some robustness behind him. I don't want a conventional right back going up and down like Bradley. Bradley's a good player, but he's up and down.
Yeah, but then
I want someone-
he's
I want
got to
some
be
protection.
disciplined not to be up
I
and
want
down,
some
isn't it?
protection. I want some protection from Trent. Wherever Trent plays, he's going to need protection. Because
Asim,
yeah,
give us a name.
give us a name. I gave you a name. I think Mohamed Simakan is likely. We've
Gene?
got a good relationship with those clubs.
I'd
as well.
take him. But I want Luke Haber, man.
Yeah, I was. That's. Give us a name. Likely, Gary. I would say Luke Haber for me.
Avi, you've been talking about him.
I like him. I like him a lot.
I like him.
He is 6 foot though. He is 6 foot. That's the only little downside. But Lucho Martinez ain't exactly tall. Guy Ridgway again. I love you guys, by the way. Great podcast. So much passion. That's why it's an amazing pod. Keep up the
Thank
great
you
work.
very much, Gary.
Yep, we do try to keep it positive. Obviously, negativity always seeps in, but yeah, we do try to keep it balanced, as we like to say.
It's 12:30 and we've still got over 200 people in the house, man.
Slot overloads the midfield with these fullbacks, man. Trent is a fullback for Slot. Sadisha, Trent is the best right back. People need to remind him that he's Liverpool's and England's right back going forward.
Trent playing midfield for Madrid. We could get Camavinga then.
What a player, man.
Brilliant player.
What a player.
Brilliant player. But
It hurts when I see Tchouaméni playing for Madrid. Honestly.
Centre back at times, you know. What a dickhead he is.
Honestly.
and he does a job there, though.
He does a job, but come on.
But Militao's back now, so he'll be back to his normal.
Oh, yeah.
Cruz is retired now.
Cruz is time,
Yeah.
Modric
And Modric is pretty much a player coach now, anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they got Hendrick coming through.
You know who had tried Nick off him? Rodrigo.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, man. Proper winner, man. I'd love for us to
tried-
sign.
Well, there's room, but there were rumors. I think I tweeted as well that he wants to have clarification from Real Madrid of where he fits in because of Mbappe, Hendrick, Savinho. No, not Savinho. They got Hendrick, Mbappe, Vinicius.
Yeah. And the Turkish kid as well.
Guler, one of your boys. What Yilmaz? This link with Yilmaz not going away. No?
I don't think.
If Gino doesn't rate him, then you know he's shy in anything.
No. I tell you one thing. He caused VVD a lot of problems in that Turkey versus Holland game. You know, he was brilliant that game. Arguably man of the match. Yilmaz was. He was him and that left back were unbelievable. So to be fair to him, he was really good, but he's not Liverpool level. I would not.
Brazil fan, but
If
really
I did,
find
I would,
Rodrigo
yeah.
irritating. Fair point. Fair point. Guys, is that all for the no,
Yeah.
not Brahim Diaz? God. Oh, he went as a forward. That's one of the forwards as well for Real Madrid. I think he probably goes back to Milan on loan as well.
Milan have got Fonseca, haven't they? From
Yeah.
Lille.
Really?
Yeah, good manager.
Who's taking
He
it?
got Champions League.
Zlatan's the sporting director now, isn't he?
Is he at Milan?
Yeah, something like that. Anyway, guys, this has been Born Red. Anything else to cover? I don't think the big boys have really flexed their muscles yet, apart from United who are shopping around. We got one more super chat. Great show, guys. Thank you very much.
Thanks, boss.
Wiki goes Kareem Adiyami.
Roadrunner.
No?
Brilliant in transitions, Avi. That's what we need. I watched him.
You know, he would
He's
set
shy.
me
He's shy.
sideways because he would be. You know why?
He's not good enough.
You know why you say
He's
shy?
rubbish.
He reminds me. He just sometimes he just remind. I would go. He'd be like another Nunes to me.
Yeah.
Does everything, just can't finish.
No.
Output.
It's too in and out. Would we consider offers for Darwin this summer? 60 million?
I think
And
the
then buy
nerds
another
at
striker.
Liverpool,
Are we gonna see it? No chance, man.
I think the nerds really believe in Darwin Núñez. Avi, his numbers in terms of chance creation, the nerds will absolutely love. And
2
they
years,
think
2
they
years
will
on.
think.
It's the same thing you're saying every summer, though. The
Avi,
nerds attack
I know.
proves that we create the chances.
Oh, where's he gone? But Avi, the nerds will love it. They will think that Arne Slot can improve his shot conversion. Where's it at the moment? 11%. If you can get up to 20, 21%, I know it's a double sort of increase, but the amount of chances he gets, it only takes another 7-8 goals, across all competitions, and we're all waxing lyrical about Darwin Núñez. And what I think Liverpool, in terms of system and structure and style of play, need to do is and especially the back end of Liverpool, the back end of the season, we didn't know a typical Liverpool goal, where it came from. We've got players like Trent that can ping a pass, but in terms of repetitive play, Avi, I think that is very important for Liverpool, and they might have to sacrifice the positioning of Salah into a bit more of a wide forward. When he's a bit more of a wide forward, it allows Núñez to be that position, the box player, and he can finish off attacks. Now, I understand the guys that are finished with him. I can understand that frustration, because they said, look, they're saying if it's not going to improve in 2 years, the last 2 years, it's not going to improve now. But I want to see a Darwin Núñez in a more structured Liverpool style of play. And whether we get that from Arne Slot remains to be seen. But let's see what happens. But in terms of belief within the club and the nerds upstairs at Liverpool, they absolutely love Darwin Núñez, and they think Arne Slot is a type of manager that can, get a tune out.
I had to go because I knew Asim was going to talk shit for 2 minutes.
Two things with Darwin Núñez which have to improve dramatically. Obviously, the first one is composure. The second one, after watching him for Uruguay in the Copa America for his country and club, he needs to preserve his energy in the final third. He doesn't preserve his energy enough, and I think that's when he panics, and his shots just go haywire. I don't think he stops for a second, like a split half a second, think, I'm going to place it there. He does so much work outside of the box, tries to pin things together, that by the time he actually lays that shot,
but
his brain's not working as quick as his movement.
My point, Abby. Do you sort of rein that chaos, if you like? You tell him, look, if you're not going to run the channels today, I want you to be that box player, more still, on the shoulder. So when he's running the channels, it's all over the place. So you're trying to add chaos to a chaotic player. So you need to rein him in. But off the pitch, Avi, we're seeing all these new scientific methods. Don't be surprised if Arne Slot and his team have got some scientific method for Darwin Núñez to calm him down, provide a bit more composure.
The scientific method is to sell him.
Well, we've seen Kabaddi, we've seen keepers wear all these goggles. Let's see what they make Darwin Núñez. Maybe a bit of yoga calms him down. I don't know.
If he stays, quick answer because we've got to go now. If he stays, quick answer, Gene. How many league goals does he get? League goals.
League goals, 17, 18.
That's a great comment from Bob.
Asim,
How many goals? How many league goals he got last season?
14.
13 or
15?
14.
If you don't fucking say 25 plus, you have to give me all that.
No, I need to know. I need to know how many he got last season. League goals.
I know you got 11 in his first season.
So I'm expecting you to say 25 to this year.
I want to see. I want to go off by last season. On his current projection, 14. Chat, tell us how many league goals he's got.
He got 11 last season, 9 in the first season.
Okay. I think he gets.
He's got 20 in 65 games in the league.
I think he gets 18 league goals next season.
18.
Yeah.
I think that's such a fucking poor return.
18 league goals, not bad. 25.
You already want to win the league. That's not going to win you the league.
Win the league.
We need, and especially the big one that you just given, and the big one you just got given, he needs to be 20 to 30. Easy. 20 to 25 at least.
Yeah, bro, you ain't winning no league if your number 9 isn't getting you.
Would you be happy with if you got 18, Gene?
What the hell? Yeah,
18
I am not happy.
If we win the league,
Yeah,
yes. If we win the
I said,
league.
Number 9, the number 9, the way he plays his position, he's an actual 9. You have to expect 25 goals as him to win a title. Anything less simply isn't good enough. To win a title, you're 90 plus points. You need your goal scorer to get 25 plus.
Okay, I revised my prediction. I think he gets 20.
Risha goes laughing my backside off. He gets 18. I'm going to turn into a fan. My expectations are rock bottom.
You know what? I like that comment. Big up to you, Stella.
I think she's joined our show before, right?
I've never seen him before.
No.
Respect
Oh,
I think
you.
she's been on our phone in before. I think she has
Oh,
been
yeah.
on
Oh,
our
yeah,
phone.
she did.
Welcome to become part of the panel. Talk very good sense. So
More than Navi.
more than these two clowns. Yeah, you got in there before me, guys. This has been a wrap. An hour and 36. I can't take more of these two idiots. This has been Born and Red. It's been a great show. Gene, you are looking pretty sharp.
He's just jealous, man. I took my cap off now, and he knows, man.
That's it, mate. That's it. Asim, I know you've had a bit of diarrhea, so hopefully you've held it up well. You've held it well, unless you're sitting, unless you've got the bog to you. Don't know which one it is.
I was just about to say. I mean, your face looks a bit thinner. As StreamYard got a new feature. Where StreamYard got a new feature where you can tuck your cheeks in.
It's the AI feature. It's the AI feature. We all know about the slimming apps anyway. Guys, this has been Born and Red. Thank you so much. Asim, they want to hear from you about playback. What's going on with playback?
Look, we're just having a few conversations with playback. Playback will kick off in the next week or two, but we just need to sort things out in the background, tie a few loose ends, and we'll go. Stay tuned, and you'll be the first ones to hear about it.
Gina, are we going to be doing any playback? Me and you, Friday's playback? Or stick to YouTube, innit?
You at YouTube, guys, man.
That's it.
New boys.
YouTubers. But guys, thanks for joining us. And the next show, Asim, anything?
I don't know. What is it today? Saturday. I think we can go Monday.
I got a feeling we'll do a show. On Wednesday.
What are you trying to say?
Just got a good feeling we're going to do a show on Wednesday. That's all I want to say. Wednesday, this Wednesday, by the way, not any Wednesday. What's he trying to do?
Yeah, that Dennis asked what, sir?
Dennis Polovkin.
Yeah. Oh, 1 second. Yeah, I just put the playback VNR thing for him so he can. If you need it, Dennis, that's the app. Go download it and follow us.
Download the app playback, and then once you've downloaded it, we will stream some shows where I believe.
Get following. Please get following on there. Sorted. Thank you very much, guys.
All right, take care, everyone. Have a good one. We'll catch up tomorrow.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you.